I'm not saying I'm Spider Dad, but what I am saying is that you've never seen me and Spider Dad in the same room at the same time. Oops! Let's keep that our secret. Hey, welcome back. This is gonna be part 2 of this year's Halloween build. Part 1 was finally getting my addiction out into the open. At least for everybody watching, everybody that I know knows how much I love Halloween. Part 2, I wanna take you through this build. I need to make things easier on myself. Check this out. I have one little bit of storage. It used to be right there. It would resemble that hole right there. It was a tiny little hole that I would get my ladder out and I would schlep all my decorations down from the attic and then back up again. And it was terrible because when you see this year, some of the decorations I have are huge and it was just too much for me. And I can't do it anymore. My wife and I have 3 kids. We can't watch kids and keep them from killing themselves and take down Halloween decorations. It's ridiculous. So my goal for part 2 of this video is to walk you through my build. Part 3 is coming up here. I'm very excited about part 3. I'm gonna have 2 different Halloween builds for my yard this year. One build is inspired by my favorite Halloween movie of all time. The second one is just to start completing my yard and the Halloween theme that I've been going for the last couple of years. I'm really excited about both of them. I hope you enjoy this build as much as I do. I hope you can take something from this and maybe use it in your own house, whether it's in your garage or your shop or your shed or heck, maybe even the attic in your house. If you couldn't tell already, I am definitely sick. My kids have been back in school for no less than a week and I've already come down with something. But Halloween's coming up. There's no time to spare. I gotta get through this. Ooh, the small attic space above my garage is tiny. My current light source, which I'll be upgrading, is one of those old-fashioned construction lights. And I need to switch it to LED because summertime and even into October, it is a million degrees up here. So part of my plan here is to upgrade the lighting. To do that, I need to get some power up here. Right now, I just use extension cords. My son's room is right behind that wall. I'm gonna jump off one of his outlets and use that to run some LED lights in here. That should be great. The second part of this storage space upgrade is to upgrade my opening. My current opening is about 21 inches by about 28.5 inches. That's not big enough for all the stuff that I have. I can't widen it outside of taking off the drywall, which I plan to do. So the plan is to extend the length to 4 feet. As you'll see, my plan to get my decorations is going to significantly reduce the amount of times I need to use a ladder to get up here. I also won't have to go up and down a ladder anymore with decorations. That's gonna be extremely helpful. Step 1, take my small opening and convert that to a large opening. Easy. Step 2, build my platform. Step 3, install my winch. That is the key to this project. Step 4 is a happy me not having to lug my Halloween decorations up into the storage space on November 1st, which is the worst day of the year, or down at the end of September when my Halloween starts coming down into the garage. Now where did I put those saw blades? Oh right. Thanks guys. There it is. Oh, hold that for me. Yeah! Oh! The good thing it's a garage. Demo's done. That went really well. Now I gotta figure out where I'm gonna hang this winch. I mean, the simple thing to do is just measure the exact center of this opening and go straight up. Get some string, run it in the middle of the width and the length so I can get my center point, and then hook up a plumb bob to the ceiling so I can figure out where the exact center is, and then that's where I'll center the winch. I'm gonna mount the electric winch directly between 2 of my trusses. I'll put a brace in, I'll attach it to that brace, and then attach the cables from the winch to the platform, likely with hooks on all 4 corners that will meet somewhere around here in the middle.
Now I need to go straight up from here, which again, I'm going to try to find with a plumb bob. I got to find my plumb bob, because whoever uses a plumb bob, I'm sure people use plumb bobs. I apologize to the people out there who actually do need to use a plumb bob. I haven't used one probably since high school, since I was taught how to use one. Either way, I'm going to find my plumb bob, get it out, get it up into the ceiling, find on the ceiling where my center line is, where it comes straight down, and then mark that on my trusses so I can get my support beam mounted and get that winch on. This is such an easy project. Halloween is just around the corner, and as you're gonna see in a month, my Halloween collection is growing and growing and growing, and it just gets harder and harder to get it up that tiny ladder into what was formerly a tiny hole. I really hope this makes a big difference. I know it will. I've been able to fit some of this work into my short schedule, a little bit here and there, mornings, afternoons, maybe at lunchtime, to get me ready for my favorite holiday of the year. Now I gotta build my frame. I settled on 4x2, very simple, easy dimensions. I've cut 2 pieces of 2x4s, cut these down to 24 inches. I've cut my long boards down to 45 inches, as these are gonna butt up to the ends. If you're thinking to yourself, oh, what the heck is a plumb bob? Before you go to Google, I'll tell you right now. A plumb bob is a weight. It's as simple as that. It's a weight, a very precise weight, specifically used to measure verticality. You hang it from a ceiling, let's just say in my instance, it'll hang straight down. When it stops moving, that'll tell you what's vertical. That'll tell you what's up and down. Okay, so I could not find my plumb bob, which is okay. I have another means of figuring out how to get this level. I have attached this string to the exact center of my string down below, and I brought out my level. It's not the most exact, precise thing, I don't think, but it's close enough. That was easy enough. You're not gonna be able to see it. I put a little bullseye right there, but that's the center. I was able to establish that without my plumb bob. Straps fixed. Instructions, trash. What the hell is that? Oh, there's hardware in there. All right, that makes more sense. I bought the Vevo. It has a 220 pound or 440 pound load capacity, depending on how you set up the cable. Found this on Amazon. It had nice ratings. Well, that was part of the reason why I bought it. The price was good, but it was also a Prime Day sale. So that was part of the reason why I chose this one. I got a pre-cut 2-foot piece of this open-ended square stock. It's in the electrical section. Electricians use it in commercial settings. I don't even know what it's called, but it's gonna be perfect. These brackets that come with the winch fit perfectly on it. I think it was made for it, right? My plan will be to mount the L brackets on the joists, just like this, attach the square stock with bolts to the L bracket, and then mount these on the top side and screw the winch into the brackets. Then I got some number 135 chain. There's 15 feet of this. I should be able to do 4 different sections of between 3 and 4 feet. I gotta figure that math out. So I'll have 4 separate chains that will connect on all 4 ends and meet in the center, and that's how it'll go up and down. If this has a 340 pound working load limit, I'll connect those in the center with something that I can fancy up if they don't fit on the end of this hook. All right, not too bad. Platform is done. Eye bolts are in. I have to figure out my length of chain and then get it all attached together. What I'm gonna do is take some 2x6s, cut them to a short length, cut them at an angle so they fit right on the slope like this, and they hang down straight so that I can put my bar up level, and then that way my winch is sitting level. I have my bullseye marked in the center of my opening, and my 2x6s that I've pre-drilled are gonna butt up to my sheathing, and I'm gonna bolt them into my trusses. I'll do one on this side, one on that side. Here's how passionate I am about this project and how much I really hope that this worked. The entire time I've been doing this project, hanging things, drilling into my trusses and measuring, I've been splitting the opening coming up here. So I don't know, if I fell, I'm gonna bounce off my ladder, but I'm gonna land 15 feet down under the concrete in my garage. That's how much I want this to happen. There's 2 sides to this L bracket. So this side's magnetic. If I have the magnetic side on one end resting on the bar, and the non-magnetic side on the other end resting on the bar, I won't have to cut the bar or drill through this steel, which I'm trying to avoid, and I just don't want to do it, I guess. Here's where I'm at. My mounting brackets are installed. I gave those a tighten. Those are good. I have one hole drill, so I don't have to hold this bracket up 20 feet above the ground. And what I did was I got it level, got my other L bracket holes measured. So the last thing I have to do here is drill my holes, mount my L brackets, and then get the square stock put back on. And I'll have to get my winch mounted first, because I got to screw that from the top. But yeah, we'll just get that, okay? If I can hang on this and it doesn't fall, then it's solid. All right, I'm not going anywhere, and that's good, because that would break my legs at the very least. Does anybody else test their work by hanging on it? I had to run an extra extension cord up here. Let's get this thing plugged in. I got everything unwrapped. Let's see if she works. Ah, that's a good feeling. What's next? First of all, I'm just incredibly pleased with how well this turned out. Quite frankly, I feel like the design is pretty simple. You don't have to do this application the way I did it. If this is something that you're interested in, you can do it however you want. Adapt to your environment. Adapt to what your garage looks like, or your basement, or your shed, or wherever you want to put this. But enough of that. I'm digressing. I'm essentially done up here. Next, I just have to work on securing the platform to this guy. I also think I'm going to go the 240-pound route, since I'm probably going to ride this up and down because I'm really a child in a man's body. This is the way to hook it up to do 440 pounds. 220 pounds is the maximum in this orientation. And your good buddy, the Ohio Oak, weighs about 180 right now. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should go for a ride? I think it'll be okay. I am like a child, but that was fun. It works. It works well. Maybe I won't ride that thing up. I don't know. That cable was making a little strange noise. But hey, it's meant for 220 pounds. I'm going to make it meant for 440 pounds when I get this little bit of, I don't know what it's called. Call it a tackle when I get this tackle added on. So I'm going to do that right now. And then I'm going to work on my 4 pieces of chain to connect the platform that I built to get this thing up and down. Nice, nice, nice. I had 15 feet of chain. 15 divided by 4, because I have 4 chains, that's 3 3/4. What I did was I counted out the amount of links that I had in that section, and then I turned that into 4 different sections. With a little bit of manipulation, I was able to get my chain link into my eye bolt, heat it up a little bit, a little finagling with some tools, and that baby's rock and roll. I'm gonna do that 4 more times, get these all screwed in, and then get them up to my center point so I can connect them together in the center somehow. We're gonna figure that part out together. Yeah! So my conundrum was, how do I get my 4 pieces of chain to connect to the winch itself, to this hook on the winch? I don't know where I acquired this, or how long I've had it, but I've had it for a long time. I don't even know what it's called. I'll have to look it up. I'll put it in the comments. But that thing worked perfectly. I had extra pieces of chain left over. I took those links, and I had to break the weld. Here's one that's still welded. Here's one where I broke the weld. So it's less strong. If I had a welder, I'd weld it back together. I just gotta be careful when I bring it all the way up, because the winch is stronger than that chain link now, and when it pulls it, it's gonna straighten that thing out. I also ran my controller through the ceiling. I took it apart. It was easy to do. That way I didn't have to cut a very large hole in my ceiling, which I didn't want to do. Now I can control it from the ground, and then I can also bring it up with me when I go up, because it's got a very long wire on it, which is great. So I wound up making the decision to install a man door, or a trap door, if you will, where I can still use my ladder to get myself up and down into the attic. This way, I'm not relying on the winch to get me up and down, because I still don't feel the most comfortable riding that thing up and down, because if it snaps, I'm going to get hurt, and I can't get hurt. Dads can't get hurt, or at least they shouldn't. It makes everything more difficult. I can now position my ladder under the trapdoor hatch and climb up there and then work the control to get things onto the platform, lower them down. I'll climb down, I'll get them off, vice versa. If Mrs. Oak is able to help me, perfect. I'll have some help. Maybe I don't have to go up and down the ladder so many times.
Okay, I think that's gonna serve my purpose a lot better. I'm gonna keep the top off. I like the way this looks. It gives me kind of a basket. I took my middle support braces and I flattened them out. That's gonna give me more room for this to act as a basket while still keeping some of my structural support. I lightened the load on the basket. I moved the hooks in, so now it fits up better in the ceiling. It's still not perfect because I have my extension cords coming down from there. And another thing, I can't even run an outlet up there until I get all my Halloween out there. That's how much I have up there. You'll be seeing that in some coming weeks when I get my Halloween episode out. I'm gonna trim out the trapdoor that I made as well to make that look nicer. And I wanna get a coat of paint on this. And then I'm gonna wrap this project up. It's finished with the exception of the power, which I'll come back to when I'm able to. Thank you for stopping by today. I really appreciate your support. My next video is going to be a really fun Halloween episode. If you want to see that, come on by in October. A little sneak peek, I plan to build my own custom Halloween decoration for my yard. My inspiration is from my favorite Halloween movie of all time, A Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm going to link all the supplies that I use in this video in the description. I'm John, aka the Ohio Oak. Thank you so much for stopping by today for another episode. Please do me a favor, if you had fun or took anything away from this episode, please hit that subscribe button or like, comment, share, tell your friends. It really means a lot to me and it really helps me to grow this channel. All I ask is that you be safe, be creative, don't lose those fingers while doing so. Go out into the world, make it a better place. And don't forget to make today great. Are you looking for this?
Spider Dad! Yes! Oh, thank you. If I ever repay you.
How about a kiss?
Thank you, Spider Dad.